Please squeeze your bodies in. So welcome to my lowly shack.
When we look back at the 80s and think of some of the most defining bands, the Smiths have to be right at the top. With their completely unique style and a far cry from the other hair metal and rock music being released at the time, it's no wonder they took the world by storm and continue to be one of the biggest bands of the last 40 years, releasing amazing albums with classic songs like How Soon Is Now, What Difference Does It Make?, Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now,
I was happy in the haze of a drunken hour, but heaven knows I'm miserable now.
and many more. It's no surprise that they gathered such a loyal fan base that would span across different generations.
Well, why are you not surprised?
Releasing their debut self-titled album in 1984, Meat Is Murder in 85, The Queen Is Dead in 86, and Strange Ways Here We Come in 87, their output year after year was nothing short of impressive. Today, we're going to take a look at one of their biggest songs of all time, and a riff that still puzzles many guitar players to this day, 40 years later.
Punctured bicycle on a hillside desolate.
What makes it so great, memorable, and stand out from the rest of the Smiths catalogue, from the fantastic drum parts, amazing melodic bass playing, and classic Johnny Marr guitar sounds. Let's dive right into it. The song opens with one of the Smiths' most recognisable guitar parts of all time. Before the bass and drums come crashing into the picture, setting the scene for the vocals to soar above.
Punctured bicycle on a hillside desolate.
From a production standpoint, the song is 80s through and through.
I know.
Bright and a lean overall sound with some lovely snare reverb, bright melodic bass lines, and 12-string chorused guitars. It fits right in with the time whilst also being incredibly unique. If we take a look at the drums, Mike Joyce was at the helm, usually playing Premier drums in the early years and later using Yamaha kicks. His style is simple and serves the song perfectly. When it comes to bass, Andy Rourke is laying down some of the most melodic and interesting bass parts of the last 40 years, with his unique style and approach counterpointing Johnny Marr's guitar parts perfectly. Andy was usually using his Fender Precision bass, a vintage example, but in the early years also used the Guild B301, most likely directly into a PV Musician bass amp. Now let's get to the start of the show, Johnny Marr's guitar playing. Johnny's playing is purposely clean and lacking distortion, trying to stand out from everything else that was going on at the time and crafting a unique sound of his own.
We got ourselves the Smiths because you decided.
The main riff on this charming man was played using his famous 54 Telecaster. In Butterscotch Blonde, that was actually owned by John Porter, the producer of their self-titled album. This charming man was the first record where Johnny used those high life sounding runs in thirds, tuned up to F sharp, delivering that tight and bright jangly tone we hear all over this song. Running into a rolling jazz chorus and a Fender Twin reverb to handle the bass/mid frequencies and the reverb tones, while the JC120 adds some modulation, either via the inbuilt chorus circuit or a separate rolling chorus pedal, while also handling the higher frequencies, blended together to get his perfect sound. There's also some acoustic guitar overdubs to widen the sound as well. To me, this sounds like a 12-string, and some chord stabs throughout on an electric guitar, which sounds like they could have possibly been Johnny's Rickenbacker rather than his Telecaster. And of course, the Smiths just wouldn't be the Smiths without Morrissey's crooning.
Can I call you Stephen?
No.
Slightly operatic vocals. Most likely recorded using a U47, soaked in some lovely heavy reverb, and his voice soars above the instrumental underneath.
Punctured bicycle on a hillside desolate.
This Charming Man by the Smiths is perhaps their most iconic song of all time. With however many streams and sales all over the world, you'd be hard pressed to find someone who hasn't heard this amazing song. What song would you like me to do next? Let me know down in the comments and I'll see you next time.
What did you think of the film?
I thought the film was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful, unwatchable. And thank God she didn't make any more.